right, welcome guys. Welcome on a Monday. And I always get excited when I actually remember what day it is because they all start to run together. But I'm so excited that we get to continue our small business series for Think3 Media. Most of you know me, but if you don't, my name is Leah Frazier. I'm the CEO of Think3 Media. We are a creative marketing and communications agency right here in Dallas, Texas. And throughout this whole quarantining process, I decided to give back to our small business community by bringing on some of my favorite experts to just keep everybody inspired, to keep moving, to keep giving you information, to link you up with other people who are better at things than we are so that you can get what you need in order to keep moving. And the amount of messages and DMs and texts, and I got a phone call today from somebody that was just so grateful for these series and our speakers, and that kept her moving. I'm gonna put you guys on mute as you come in. So we're doing this for all the right reasons. I'm so excited about today because I have an expert in SEO, which everybody needs to know how to do this. Like, I remember when I started my business over a decade ago, and I went to a free seminar with the Small Business Administration and had to learn SEO, and I hated it. But
tell me that.
I'm sorry. Facts are facts, Charlene. Facts are facts. But the amount of time that it smushed from getting my personal shopping business at the time to up the Google search engines for somebody who was a nobody in the Houston fashion industry, a nobody, to when somebody searched for Houston personal shopper and my site came up, I was on TV within months. And then my site was just, and it was ridiculous. And people were like, how are you doing this? I'm like, well, I'm doing this SEO class and all this stuff on the back end of my website, and I'm not techie and I hate it, but I got to do it. So I want you to introduce yourself. Tell people your story, because we met totally like different space.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first, Leah, thank you so much for having me on. It's so crazy to see how things come full circle. But for those of you who do not know who I am, hello, I am Charlene McCraney. I am a blogging coach and SEO strategist, and I teach bloggers and small business owners how to drive more traffic to their website so they can rely less on social media and likes and follows and really make an impact on a platform that they personally own, i.e. their own website or their own blog, because that is where the magic should happen. So a little bit backstory about me. I started out as a natural hair blogger, and I actually still do run that website called texturetalk.com. That's how we were introduced in the natural hair space with different events and things like that. And I've always made SEO a #1 priority for my website from day one. Similar to you, I heard about all the great things about SEO and how you needed to have it on your website. And I was like, okay, well, let me give this a try. Let me play around with it. And it really wasn't until I started getting people saying like, hey, I Googled, such and such product and your website showed up, or I Googled like how to repurpose an old twist out, or I Googled this and I Googled that and your website came up. And I was like, oh, okay, well, there's something to this SEO thing. But in the beginning, just being in the natural hair space and industry, I was just so focused on Instagram and making sure I had followers and likes and comments. And, I just wanted to be Insta famous. And it really wasn't until I took a step back and really looked at my Google Analytics and my website, and I saw that I was reaching 3-4 times the amount of people that I would ever reach on Instagram. And at the time, I had a pretty nice following. I had probably like around 15,000 followers, but with the different algorithms, my reach was only like 1% of that. But when I went and I looked at my Google Analytics, I'm like, girl, you're getting 30 to 40,000 page views a month on your blog. So why are you so stressed out over a platform that you don't own? They can change at any time. Those clients on your Instagram are not paying clients because you're not even selling anything at the moment on your Instagram. So I really shifted my focus to say, okay, let me focus less on Instagram and put more resources and time and investments into my website. And it wasn't until I really started to double down on SEO, I started to see more impacts from that. And I was able to start, creating passive income from my website and really understanding the true impact that SEO has. So now I'm on a mission to teach other people exactly how to do the same, because so many people think SEO is scary. They're like, it's scary, it's difficult. It's only something, a company with a big technology department can do. It costs all this money, and it's really not. It's actually pretty cool and really fun. I could talk about it all day, which is why I'm here. So, I just love teaching others the power of SEO.
And I love that you said that, because, if you go on a lot of the like marketing sites and marketing blogs for a point in time, I want to say it was like a year or so ago, they're like, SEO is dead. Don't worry about SEO. And then there was also a point in time too where there were a lot of bloggers that said, I'm ditching my blog, I'm ditching the website, and I'm only going to focus on being like the Instagram being my blog. And I'm like, no. Like you still have to own something, just like you said, and you still have to push content out there. So you were already telling us how important SEO is. Tell us a little bit, did you teach yourself how to do it? Did you take classes?
Yeah, I taught myself a lot of things, but I also continue to pour into myself and continue to get continual education, whether it's myself taking online courses, reading books and things like that. But going back to what you said, as far as people saying like, does SEO still matter? Like, of course it matters. It's always mattered. And especially for people who are saying, well, I'm going to ditch my blog and, just focus on social media. And I always like to say, you need your own little piece of internet real estate. And that's what your website does for you, especially. And you just need a place to make your own impact because you don't own those platforms. But for small businesses, definitely SEO matters. It never stopped mattering. SEO at the core. And just giving a little backstory, for people who are on this and they're like, what the heck is SEO? SEO stands for search engine optimization. If you're on here, maybe you know that, maybe you don't. And it's really it's the beautiful art, and it's the process by which you improve your website through content, through website design, through user experience, to allow search engines to be able to refer your website to other people when they do a Google search result, just at the most simple form. So your small business needs to be optimized for SEO, because people are going to Google to type in the answers to solve their everyday problems, and your business is established to solve a problem, to serve a need, or whatever. People aren't necessarily going to Instagram typing in local coffee shop near me or PR agencies in Dallas. That's what they're using Google for. So SEO positions your business to continue to be seen and found, especially right now when more people are switching to online resources. And it also allows you to get that consistent traffic to your website month after month, unlike something like a Facebook ad. Once you run a Facebook ad, you're probably going to get a lot of traffic to your website. You're going to see spikes, but as soon as those dollars stop flowing into Facebook, that traffic is going to drop off and you're not going to be getting that traffic anymore. So SEO is a long-term strategy for you to be able to continuously be found and to seen and to drive those customers to your website, so then you can work your magic and you can convert them either to paying clients, so they can buy your products or your services or anything like that. So SEO definitely matters. Don't ever let someone tell you that it doesn't. It really needs to be a part of your digital marketing strategy and your content marketing strategy.
I love that you said that, because when I first took SEO, the guy that taught the class, I think he sold like light fixtures or something like that. Mm-hmm. And when you went to his website, it was not a good site. It was crappy. But any way that you typed about a light fixture, he came up number one every single time.
Oh, that's great.
So I love how you hit on the fact that you don't have to hire some big company. You don't have to have this all decked out website to get amazing results if you would just dedicate time towards SEO as a part of your business strategy. And I think that's kind of a rumor that is out there. Is that it costs you so much money to do?
It's really not. And I mean, at the core, you need to ask yourself, when people go to when they do a search result and they're looking for a service that I sell or anything that's going on with my business, what are they going to be typing into Google? What are people searching for? It's really understanding the user experience and the user in-game and the user intent. Once you capture that and you really understand that, that's how you know how your website needs to be optimized, from your pages to your content and all of the things like that.
I'm typing into the notes as you're giving this.
Okay. You're going to have the replay, Leah.
I know, right? So as we kind of go, let's talk about timing. Because at one point in time, I think another one of the rumors for SEO was that you just have to just keep dumping all of this content. And for small business owners and entrepreneurs, one of the things that they don't have a lot of time of is time, right?
Yeah.
Accountant, they're the website designer, they're the graphics person.
I've been there. Mm-hmm.
So how much time are we looking at as far as dedicating to optimizing the sites?
Yeah, so there's two parts really when we're talking about time in SEO. The first thing that you really have to understand is that SEO is a long-term strategy. So, and that's really why I encourage people to start on it as soon as possible, especially right now. If you are a business owner and you're trying to make sales tomorrow, you're already too late in terms of SEO. So the things that you do today are going to continue to pay off for you 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line. And it can really take between, depending on your site size and your domain authority, 4 to 6 months before you really start to see good traction, and sometimes 6 months plus before you really start to see those results pay off. So I always use an example. I wrote this really in-depth piece of content back in November, and it wasn't like until January I started to like see some uptick in it, and it's not really until now, like April, May, where it's like really, really taken off, because it takes time. But on the back end side, as far as what you can do as a small business owner, if you don't have enough time, it's not about quantity. It's about quality. So as you are creating the content on your website, based on the things that your audience needs, what they're going to be Googling online, you want to make sure that you have great, in-depth, long-form content that when that person lands on your page, it's going to give them everything that they need, and it's going to be optimized for your particular keyword. I know I'm kind of like jumping ahead a little bit, but you want to make sure that that content is great, because at the end of the day, Google's primary purpose is to give their customers, the people who are using search results, is to give them the best experience. They want to land on a website that has great in-depth content, is long form, it's going to provide value, the website has a great user experience. They want all those type of things to be happening. So if you were just, saying, oh, I'm just going to post a post, that's not really helping you. And then in addition to that, you want to make sure that you're writing smart content based on keyword research, which means understanding the type of things, again, that your audience is searching for online, and really creating content around that. And then we can talk about in a second, like how, to structure your website and what Google looks for and things like that. But the time part that I want people to understand is that you don't have to post 4 blog posts a month, or 4 blog posts a week, or just, kind of like burn yourself into the ground. The core things that you need to focus on is the quality of the content and making sure like those key areas of your website are really optimized. So, thinking about like, is your website mobile friendly? Does it have great page speed? When you just go into Google and you Google your business, just yourself, what shows up? Do your own site audit. If someone is searching for a bakery shop, if someone is searching for a local photographer, if they're searching for PR agencies, are those keywords that you want to be found for on your homepage? Are they on your about page? Are they anywhere on your website that's going to send a signal to Google to say, that is what this business is about?
Yeah, I like that you said that. And I think from time to time, we don't do those site audits. And I think sometimes as entrepreneurs or small businesses, we set the site up and then we walk away. And one of the main problems, I know that happens a lot with SEO, is like Google doing its scrub or whatever. And it's like, I think this is a dead site because it hasn't been updated in however many months or years. So we're going to move this to the bottom and move this
Mm-hmm.
one that keeps having this fresh content kind of up the ladder. So how often should we be updating our sites with this content? And is your suggestion for small businesses to have blogs? Like,
So I always suggest, if you have the capacity and it fits within your business realm, using blogging as part of your content strategy is a great way to really improve SEO. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you a couple of different types of way to do that. SEO favors written content. That's just how the algorithm works, how the tools work, because as Google, as they index different pages and they're scanning websites and things like that, they're looking for those keywords, because the words, the actual words that are on the internet, that is what people are searching for, and that's what Google is using for SEO. So even if you write something that's just like a great piece of content and it's a well in-depth article, like one blog post per month, that is better than posting 5 or 10 blog posts that are subpar quality. And when I'm talking about in-depth long form, I'm talking about over 1,000 words. I'm talking about you're breaking stuff down.
Oh, Lord, she said over 1,000, y'all.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. And that's why I'm like, you're only going to do one per month if you really need to, because Google also favors long form content. One of the things that I do, if you Google something and you go on the first page of Google and you click on those pages, you're going to see a trend. All of the pages and things that are showing up on the first page of Google are more than likely long form. The click-through rate and the rate at which pages and posts are ranked number 1 on the first page of Google, because that's the goal. We all want to be on the first page of Google. How many people are going to page 2? How many people are going to page 3? Not a lot. Think about the last time you did a Google search. No one's going past page 3, like no one. So the goal is to be on the first page of Google. So what you want to do, you want to say, okay, this is the process that I use. I'm going to write about, XYZ, local barbershop, whatever I'm going to write about. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to Google that word, because I want to see what's showing up on the first page of Google, because now that's my competition. I want to beat whatever is on that first page. And most of the time, you're going to find very long form content. Someone said even for technology companies, I didn't see the first part of that question, but I'll come back. You want to make sure that you are creating that long form content. It gives you more opportunities to use your keywords throughout. So let's say, okay, I'm not a blogger, I don't want to blog. Do you have a case study for your business that you can publish? That is written content. That is something that a small business can use. Do you have a podcast that you want to transcribe? And you can use it as written content as well, but then you're also using particular keywords from that podcast that you're going to transcribe. The thing about it, and when I say transcribe for podcasts especially, you don't want to go in and just literally verbatim, word for word, transcribe that blog post. You want to either outsource or spend some time yourself to create that blog post into some type of article format, because you know what else Google is looking for? They're looking to see if this is the real person that's writing this. They're looking to see if it's a great user experience. So when someone lands on that, whether it's a case study, a transcribed blog post, or anything, you're still providing value. So just think about different creative ways that you can add more written content to your website so you can improve your SEO and start to rank for more keywords for your business. Even if it's something, let's say you are a technology company or you're a plumbing company, think about the most frequently asked questions that people are asking you. How do I convert an MP3 file to whatever? How do I, unclog a toilet by myself if I'm a plumber? That's written content. Those are frequently asked questions that your business are asking you. Maybe, you have some things in your manual or something that you're trying to help people just understand, because those are the things people are Googling for, especially if they're asking you over and over again. So there are a lot of ways to incorporate written content into your website if you are nervous about starting this blog and being this blogger. Maybe it's just like a resources page where you have written content that way, so you're ranking for those relevant keywords for your business. So I really hope that made sense, and I wanted to see if there were some more questions in the chat.
I like that you said that, just for the simple fact that I always take long form content and I chop it up into different pieces. So even with something like this, I would record it and, like you said, send it off get it transcribed. I can do it on Fiverr for like $5, y'all, $10.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
send me back a Word document with everything Charlene and I are talking about, and then boom, throw it up on the website, and it's for sure gonna hit that 1,000-word mark. But like she said, maybe going through it and saying, okay, what's the subject matter of what we're talking about, and what would somebody be searching for, and then kind of play, not necessarily with the direct quotes, but play with the post itself to make sure that it's repetitive throughout. So there's ways to do this without thinking that this is going to be super, super difficult. We want you to work smarter and definitely not harder. So if she's saying you don't have to, if somebody's telling you to do 20 posts a month or 4 posts a week, no, you only have to do one really great long form post. Like, this is making me beyond happy right now.
Yeah.
Because it used to be where everybody felt the pressure of, I've got to post in order to turn over new content on my site.
No, quantity will never outrank quality. It's just because this is the thing. You can write all these blog posts, and if you don't understand keyword research or have someone to really help you understand what competitive keywords are going to help you rank, you're going to be writing stuff that no one is actually searching for online. So like, who has time for that? Who has, especially as a business owner, if you, okay, another big thing I always like to tell my clients, and I'm going to answer the question about that someone just asked. There's a difference between blogging as a hobbyist and blogging as a business. So if you're blogging as a hobbyist, of course you can write about my favorite lipstick on Wednesday, or, you know, I just made this amazing kale vegan salad because I had that for lunch. But if you're blogging as a business, your main objective is to drive more traffic to your website, to convert people to clients, customers, and to make sales. So that means if you're blogging as a business and creating content as a business, you need to be focused on creating content that people is actually searching for online related to your industry and to your niche. So she said, over 1,000 words in a blog post, can you expand on long form content? So long form is just about like the length of it. So there's a popular tool for WordPress called Yoast SEO plugin that I use. I love it. And they often say, you know, if you write 300 words, it gives you like a nice little green check mark and you're good to go. But 300 words is really not as competitive as you think. What you really want to do is whenever you start to write about a topic, you want to go to Google and see, okay, like I said, what's ranking on the first page of Google, and really look to see what is a trend for how many words that article or that post is. Long form can be anything like over 1,000, but if everything on the page is like showing up 700 words, you know, I want to beat it. Maybe I want to be 900. If things are showing up as like 1,500 words, then you kind of know like what the barometer of what it is. I don't know how many people are competitive, but I'm like competitive. So my goal is to beat, you know, the thing that's on the first page of Google. But even if it's not long form, let's say you can't get it to 1,000 words, make sure that you're really answering all the key questions that someone may ask about that post, because even if you don't get it to 1,000 words, you could be ranking for different keywords just within one post. Just because, you know, you're writing one blog post about one topic doesn't mean that Google is not going to be able to scan that page and pick up on other keywords that page has content about.
I have a question. Years ago, when video started becoming huge, and I know like with Facebook, oh my God, Facebook is going to be all video in 5 years, and it freaked everybody out. Like, and I've said it too, where I've consulted with clients, like, you're not doing enough video, but them not understanding that. I'm not saying get rid of the blog and do all video. There has to be, you know, a marriage between the two. But if people are substituting for more photography and more video, can Google read that? Or do you have to put something on the back end of those videos or the photography in order to still rank? Or is it just all words?
So it's mainly words, but there's a whole area of just YouTube video as well. So, I mean, YouTube video, YouTube SEO. So what you want to do is you want to use the video as a supplement to the written content that you're using, because as Google is scanning your pages, they're going to see, they look for different ways that you're putting content onto a particular page. So if you have written text, if you have video, if you have pictorials and images, you know, all those things. For your images, you can put alt text in there for your keyword, getting a little technical. For video, not so much, but a lot of people use YouTube as part of their video SEO strategy, because with YouTube, you can put comments, you can put long captions and things like that. And the same approach that you would use for optimizing, a lot of the same things that you would use for optimizing on your website, you would do the same for YouTube. So it's kind of like having a mini blog post within your YouTube caption, because Google is going to scan that as well. So if someone is Googling something, you know how you have those videos that are showing up at the top, maybe it's like a how-to video, that's like rich snippets, what we call rich snippets, when, you know, things are showing up as video, photos, questions, and things like that. So it needs to be a part of your strategy in tandem. You need to use them both together.
I'm glad you said that, because I was doing that in my YouTube videos and I didn't even know that was, no, but I didn't know that was.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like a mini blog post, you know, within your YouTube caption, because it's written text. That's what people, that's how you're going to be able to be found. So
let's talk a little bit. You're talking a lot about keywords. Let's kind of move into that conversation a little bit deeper. What can you tell us about, I know that there are some ways, or it's like some websites or some ways for you to go and see like what's the most searched keyword in your category, or I don't even remember what it is.
Look, you know some stuff about SEO, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's been so long. I don't do it. I do Yoast though. I do my Yoast. But yeah,
that's part of it. So okay, so Yoast is not going to do keyword research for you, I think, unless you have like the premium app, and I don't have the premium one, so you know, and I'm still doing great. But so just to back up, keyword research is the process by which you determine the popularity and the usage of the words and things that people are searching for online. So your keyword essentially is the main idea of your web page or your blog post, and ultimately what you want to be found for, like I said before. So for example, if you want Think3 Media to show up in search results, or you know, if you want Think3 Media to show up in search results for like Dallas PR firm, you know, that would be your keyword for a particular phrase or whatever. So small business owners particularly, you use keyword research to determine the type of content that you should be writing about and the words to optimize throughout your website. Like I said, there's no point in spending time and money optimizing a site for stuff that people aren't searching for. And once you've identified the keywords in your industry, you've determined the search volumes and how difficult it is for a website like yours of your caliber to actually rank for those words, then you can develop a smart strategic plan for moving forward. So tools that I use all the time, some are free, that anyone can use when you're just getting started. I love Ubersuggest. It's an app that was developed by Neil Patel, who's like the SEO GOAT. Everyone loves Neil Patel. I use Ubersuggest, and you can do like, you can put your website in there, you can see the keywords that you're ranking for, you can see your backlinks, something else I'm going to talk about in a second, and you can see like all different things about your website, and it even gives you suggestions of things that you can do to improve your site. Key Search is another good tool for keyword research, and my favorite is a Google Chrome extension called Keywords Everywhere. So you download the Google Chrome extension, and what it does is every time you put something in the Google search results, it'll give you a little side, it'll return little sidebar results of other keywords that people are searching for related to that. That way you can use those words multiple times throughout your content. And then there's more advanced tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush. So those are kind of the more advanced tools that SEOers and agencies use, because those are like $100 a month and things like that. And it's a more steep learning curve for just beginners. But you know, anyone can pay for those services if you're interested in doing that. But those other tools are very great for anyone that's just starting out and they're trying to get some more insight into their website.
And I love it. Again, the theme, working smarter, not harder. So I remember on Instagram when people would use other people's hashtags to get found. That's how I'm like hearing this conversation where it's like, okay, well, if someone finds my competitor by such and such keyword, I need to start using that too, so that I'm ranking on the same page. So I love all of these resources. I've put them in the comments for you guys. And no, we do not have to get very advanced. We are just
yeah. But I love that you said that, because that's part of the process I use for my SEO clients. Part of the process is keyword research. Well, I go and I look at your competitor websites. I say, hey, your competitors are ranking for all of these keywords, and this is the amount of monthly search volume that this keyword is getting, and it has this difficulty score. So I think what would be smart for you to do is to target these keywords to start driving more traffic to your website, because you have an area of opportunity that you could be seizing because you're not even writing about this type of stuff yet. So, I mean, there are ways that you could probably do that by yourself. If you spend some time to just go in and put in, all of your competitor websites and look at stuff like that. But sometimes those do require more advanced SEO tools and things like that.
Yeah, sorry, you're hearing beeping. People are like,
it's okay. Someone said, I have Yoast SEO on my WordPress site. It doesn't work, or should I say I haven't figured it out? Yeah, so definitely use Yoast will give you feedback as you're putting in the keywords as well, to tell you like what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, it's one of the, I love Yoast, like you said, because it's like one of my last minute looks before I actually click publish. So I know if I have that green light, that means that everything is good. But they'll also tell you like, you didn't use enough headlines, or you're supposed to use the keyword this percentage throughout the article, and you only used it for this. And so then to go back and add it in a little bit more. So Yoast is kind of like, if you were going bowling and you put the bumpers on, the handicap
yeah.
Yoast is like your bumpers when you're going bowling, because it kind of guides you along the way. So if you have a WordPress site, definitely go add that plugin. It's amazing.
And another thing I want to add too, because I do come across people who don't have WordPress. Depending on the type of entrepreneur you are, maybe you don't like WordPress, maybe you use Squarespace or you use Wix and things like that. And Yoast is just a WordPress plugin. So the key things I make sure people really understand when it comes to structuring your website to, make it rank better, or, try to make it turn up on the first page of Google search results. There are a couple of key things. So one, you definitely want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Google made this a ranking factor back in 2018. So if your website is not mobile friendly, it's actually a ding against you. You guys, it's 2020. There's no excuse why your website shouldn't be mobile friendly. So you definitely want to do that. And you also want to make sure your website has great page speed, because user experience is key for Google, and they use it for how they're ranking websites too. No one wants to come to a slow site. If you think back to what I said, where Google's primary goal is to return their customers with the best information and the best websites, they don't want to refer slow websites. Like, how many times have you been on a website and it's loading, slowly, and then you're like, I'm just clicking off of it, and that hurts your bounce rate, that hurts your engagement. So all of those little things tie into your ranking. And then if you don't have the Yoast plugin, the key things that you need to make sure for your website, especially as small business owners, your website description. When you go into Google and you type your own website, what is showing up for your website meta description? What is showing up for your title? What's on your about page? Really pay attention to those key things, because your about page, especially if someone is trying to do business with you, that's like the second thing or the first thing they're going to click on your website. You want your website to really speak to who you are, what you're doing, and things like that, so people can trust you. Don't think your website is just something where you can just slap some stuff up there. Like, use that as an opportunity to really sell your business and show your authority in your niche.
Yeah, I tend to like to think of it like Google has like this report card that they're giving all of the websites, and they're checking off all these things, and they're scrubbing your sites, and it's like, okay, is it doing this? Well, no, push it down the ranks, because like, you don't want people to go to bad sites. So long form content, we talked about keywords and just making sure that it's optimized really, really great for both your desktop and for mobile. Let's talk about backlinks, because this is something from a PR perspective that it's a strategy that we use for our clients, not just for SEO, but just because it helps them for like sales purposes for people to find their site. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so backlinks, oh my gosh, backlinks and just links in general are so important when it comes to SEO. If you think about it, links are the foundation of Google. It's a tool full of links and websites and refers and links here and links here and links there. So a backlink is when another site is linking to your website. They're linking back to your website. And what happens is each backlink that you have is like a vote in Google's eyes. And it shows Google that you are a trusted authority. Let's say Forbes is linking to you, or, CNN is linking to you, or, your local news station is linking to you. Google is looking at all of these things and saying, okay, this is a trusted website. They're a trusted authority because so many websites are linking to them. So your goal is to look for link building opportunities any way that you can. So as a PR person, I know maybe, one tool that they recommend us use is Haro, help a reporter out. So you can try to get on the radar of some of these reporters if you have something to contribute to an article, especially as it relates to your business, so you can be seen as someone giving an opinion, and hopefully they link back to your website. Other ways that you can do different link building is if your business has a lot of great blog content, and that's like a core of your business strategy, linking out, reaching out and seeing how you can do some guest blogging opportunities, some guest posting opportunities, maybe seeing if your website can be added to like any type of resource list or anything like that. Any opportunity that you can do for someone to link back to your site, it's great. I won't go into do follow, no follow links because that's a little bit too much, but you definitely want to be building those backlinking opportunities. And then on the opposite side of backlinks is think about the linking that you're doing within your own site. So we have internal links and external links. So with internal links, you're going to be linking to other content within your own site. And what this does is it further helps people to stay on your website longer. You get more clicks, you get more page views, your bounce rate lowers, and it's showing Google that people are actively engaged on your site. External links is when now you are now linking to another website, and you want to be linking to those trusted authorities and those websites that are relevant to your business, because what this then signals to Google is that they are further extending the user experience. If I'm talking about how to do a twist out. I'm just going to keep using natural hair references because that's my blog. If I'm talking about doing a twist out and I'm referring a product, maybe I'm going to link to Sally Beauty because that's furthering the user experience to help them along with what exactly that I'm talking about. So you have internal links, external links, and backlinks. Links need to be a part of your SEO strategy. If you look at the report of the number of pages that are ranking number one on Google, a lot of them have a lot of backlinks to those pages. That's why you see the most popular and the most authoritative pages always on the first page of Google when you're searching for different things.
And I love that you talked about that, because definitely on the PR side, if we get mentioned, or even if it's with a TV station, I always try to say, hey, do you mind linking back to my client site when you mention the name? Or can you link to this or this page or whatever? And now I get a lot of requests from people that are like, hey, so I'll take your plumber example. Hey, Leah, I saw that you did the 5 top plumbing issues for an apartment post. Well, hey, I'm a plumber out of Dallas, and I'm talking a little bit about whatever with the toilet. Can you link back to my website so that people can get further information on that? And if they have a really good site and it's decent, I don't mind doing that because I understand what they're doing, as long as it's not a bad site, because I don't want them to bring my ranking down.
Definitely. So I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I get tons of emails like that every single day. Someone doing outreach, because link building it's a manual outreach type of thing, and you have to do it to build the links. That's really the only way that you do it. But I get so many requests for links, and there's just like some really crappy sites out there where they'll just send you an email based on a keyword that they saw you rank for, but their site has absolutely nothing to do with your site. And those are the type of things that you don't want to link to. If I'm talking about natural hair, but you're reaching out to me as a plumber, this is a great example. I did a blog post about hard water for hair and soft water and adding a water filtration system to your home so you don't get the mineral buildup in your hair and all that. And I had a lot of like water filtration type companies and plumbers and stuff reaching out to me. I'm like, I don't want to link to that. I just don't. Like, I'll link to maybe Amazon where they can buy it, but I'm not linking to your website. I digress. But you want to make sure that the things that you are linking to are relevant, authoritative, and high authority type pages. There was something else I was going to say, but I kind of drew a blank. Oh, PR and links. So if you are a small business and you have press, a beautiful and a great way to use that press is for it to be on the home page of your website. Your home page has the most link juice. What that means is anything you put on your home page as Google is scanning your website and they're looking at your navigational menu and all the links on there, that holds a lot of weight. So if you have press, you know how you see those sites and it says as featured in, you want to have all those logos on your home page and you want to be linking out to those websites where you have the press at, because those are already high authority websites. So that's going to improve your link juice and your link your link opportunities. And it's further going to show Google that, hey, this is a trusted authority. They've been featured in all these places. They're linking to all these places. That's a great place to portray your press on your homepage. You can have it on a press page too, but if you have it on the homepage, that's great for SEO.
And I did that too, and I didn't even know. This is hilarious. Okay, but yeah, I have that. I was like, oh, okay, ooh, let me see what I need to go fix. But no, that's awesome. And the internal links thing, because I know that a lot of people will have like those one-sheeter type websites that, just scroll. That will come over time for you to be able to kind of make people navigate throughout your site. Because I think my media site, Inspiring Style, probably has like 400 articles, so I can always include like maybe 5 or 6 internal links to try to keep people within the site. But don't freak out if you don't have that yet. Just take this as an opportunity to know that now you need to work up to that, because this is another way to have really great SEO. And so one last thing before we open this up for questions is I want to talk a little bit about Google Analytics and being very intentional about pulling your reporting and looking at your analytics. So
great. It's so funny you mentioned that, because I'm preparing a Instagram post for later today about Google Analytics. So nice.
Yeah.
So you want me to just go ahead and just jump right? I thought you had a particular question. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, so take it away.
Yeah, sure. So I love Google Analytics. First, in order to improve your traffic and all that type of stuff, you really have to understand like your baseline. And this is the section that I like to tell my clients, like, getting friendly with Google. You can't be afraid of data and analytics. So many people are just afraid to even open Google Analytics because they have no idea, what the crap is on there and what they're saying. So there are 3 key areas that I always like to tell my clients to pay attention to when understanding Google Analytics. It's your audience, it's the acquisition, and it's the behavior. So your audience, of course, is going to give you demographic information, your page views, your total sessions over a given frame of time. It's also going to tell you how long people are on your website, the number of pages they've visited when they come to your website, and the bounce rate and things like that. So I always go to my audience because I want to see how many page views did I get in April? How many did I get in June? I want to see the trend of what that's looking like for my audience. Also want to know, are more people interacting with my website on desktop versus mobile? What type of devices are they using? Are they using Chrome? Are they using IE Explorer? And this is important if you think about it too, for maybe you do have a technology company or you're building your website or anything like that. You want to make sure that your website is showing up and is compatible and you're getting, traffic on all of those different platforms and those different technology mediums, as well as really looking at your demographics. Maybe you think what your demographics are. You think you know who your customers are, but when you really start digging into the audience of your Google Analytics, you're like, okay, I have this many men, this many women. They're coming from the US, they're coming from these countries, they're visiting from these places. So audience is really, really key. I love audience. The second one is acquisition. So the acquisition is this is a section where you can really see like where your traffic is generating from. So is your traffic generating from organic search results, i.e. SEO? Is it coming to you by way of social? So social media, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Is it coming to you just directly? People going to just in the search engine and typing in your website and going to it directly? Or is it coming to you from referral websites? So like third-party websites, so what we talked about before, different backlinks and stuff like that. So this is important because this was the light bulb moment for me, Leah. When I was spending so much time on Instagram and I looked at my Google Analytics, I looked at my acquisition, and I saw that less than 1% of my blog traffic was coming from Instagram.
Oh my God.
Less than 1. Let me say that again for the cheap seats. Less than 1% of my blog traffic was coming from Instagram, getting 30 to 40,000 page views a month. My number one was organic search via SEO, and my second highest referrer is Pinterest. Pinterest for blogs is huge. And then after that, it went to, I think it was like direct. Then direct is like my third one. And then like referral is like the one after that. But that's when I started to shift. I was like, okay, let me focus more on SEO. So for the month of April, I had about 36,000 page views. 60% of that was organic search. Another probably like 35%, probably 30% was social. Most of that is Pinterest. And then it just kind of like goes down from there. So acquisition is key. And that's actually a metric that I use for my clients. I said, okay, when I first started working with you, you had this much traffic coming from organic search results. Now let's look at it a couple of months later. You have this much coming from organic search results. And then the last part is the behavior. So I use the behavior to see what are the top pages people are visiting on my website. Is it the homepage? Is it a particular blog post that people are really drawn to? You know, I like to use behavior to see what is the content that people are gravitating the most to. I see someone ask me about conversion rates for well, I'll come back to that because I think that was just a question. But so those are the top 3 areas. So you have your audience, your acquisition, and your behavior in Google Analytics. Those are the things that you can really focus on.
I love that. So if you don't have Google Analytics on your site, do yourself a favor and get that installed ASAP. And I'm not too savvy with Squarespace, so I'm really sorry. But if you have WordPress, there are these easy plugins, because I know you have to add code into the header, or there's a section where you have to add the code in. And if you're not a web developer, you either need to find the plugin that will insert the code correctly, because one wrong insertion can crash your entire site, or you need to find a web developer that can go ahead and get that in there for you. But like, I love everything about this. Like this is an intentionality thing. Like this is awareness. This is just defying all the rumors, right? From being, oh, I'm gonna be this Instagram blogger. Well, if I'm not making sales from Instagram, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just reality. And I always like to preface it and say, you know, this is just my story. There are some people who are amazing at selling on Instagram. They get a lot of traffic from Instagram. But from what I found, even working with clients who have like thousands of, you know, double and triple the amount of followers that I have, when I pull back the onion and look at their Google Analytics, Instagram is still not the #1 traffic referrer. It's just not. Like, if you think about Instagram, it's not really built for links, you know? There's a lot of things that people have to do to go to your profile to click on a link. And then if you have like a link in bio and you have a link tree, now you're competing with all these other different links that people need to click on. Or unless you have the swipe up feature, if you have over 10,000 followers, and like, how many people really have that? So prioritize your focus if you're trying to get more website traffic and convert clients, especially as business owners, to those platforms that that are link favorable. So that's why Pinterest is so great. Pinterest itself is a search algorithm. You go into Pinterest to search for the things that you want, and they provide you links. You click on those links and you read more things. So yeah. And the other really, really quick tip is the Google Search Console. I always like to tell people to make sure that your website is submitted to the Search Console as well. And you want to submit your sitemap to the Search Console. I know I'm getting really technical, but your sitemap is going to allow Google to be able to crawl to your website more intelligently, to really know what pages you have, to index those pages, to know all your images and your tags and your text and all of that good stuff. And your Google Search Console will actually tell you the keywords that people are searching for that's leading them to your website, and showing you how many impressions you're getting for those keywords and the click-through rate for those keywords. So those two are like a married couple. They go hand in hand.
It is so much. I mean,
I know.
It's such a broad topic. No, but this, I think I love this because it opens the conversation. You gave so many nuggets just away, and we're going to go to a couple of questions. But before we get to the questions, just in case, you know, anybody has to log off, I want to talk a little bit about, you have a free SEO training.
Yes.
And for anybody that, if you have to hop off or whatever situation is, this recap will be available. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on the podcast. So no worries. We dropped a lot, you know, like brain. But she has a free SEO training. So why don't you talk a little bit about that? And if you want to put the link in the comments so everybody can sign up for that, that would be awesome. Oh, she already did.
Yeah, I just dropped the link. So I'm really excited about my free training. I just released it on Friday. I'm really excited about it. So it's all about how I got one particular blog post to page 1 of Google in 60 days. So in the training, you're going to learn the step-by-step process that I use for writing blog posts to make sure that it gets continuous traffic month after month. In the training, you're going to learn to how to determine what your audience is searching for online, which is what I talked about before. You're going to learn what makes a blog post show up in search results, really digging into those keywords some more, and then ultimately understanding what makes Google happy, you know, and really understanding why Google makes user experience their number 1 priority.
Yes, so sign up. Hey y'all, I'm signed up.
Yay! Good.
But there's more that I need to know, and so please sign up. You're amazing. You're just like a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
And for those of you guys who want to take it a step further and actually sit down and have a day with you, VIP day, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So really excited about that. So I have 2 services essentially. I have my Blog Like a Pro VIP Day, which is where I help you really sit down and develop a strategy and teach you my 4-part SEO system, which I call my SEO elevation system. And I really go through those key things that you need to increase your visibility and finally start treating your blog like a true business. So you're able to get more traffic to your website and either start making passive income or starting converting those clients to customers. So the VIP day, it is virtual. If you're in Dallas, it could be in person, but because of the Rona, it's not. But right now it's virtual, and it consists of 4 parts. So we go through content improvement and link building. We go through the keyword research, the data and analysis, and we go through the blog structure and the technical improvements. And what's so great about this day is like I can be here and I can tell you all the strategies, but you really need something that's tailored to your website. You need someone to sit down and say, okay, this page needs to have this keyword. These are the keywords that you need to be blogging for. So that's what the Blog Like a Pro VIP Day is. It is a 4 to 6 hour day. Now I know for a lot of small business owners, that's a lot of time for them to devote. They don't really have time to do that. You do get a full, you get a replay recording of that. But the other thing that I do have for my small business owners is I have done for you SEO services where it's like, hey, I don't have the time to do this. I don't want to learn how to do it. I don't even want to blog. Like, I have clients that are like, I don't want to do none of this. I just want you to do it. So I have done for you services where you can book me on a monthly retainer or from a month to month, and I go through and I optimize your website for all the things that we've been talking about. That includes writing blog content for you, that includes doing your keyword research, that includes making sure that all of your pages and your posts are optimized for keywords going forward, writing that long form content that we talked about, finding link building opportunities for you. So that's more so a service for my small business owners who don't have the time to sit down for a VIP day. But I will definitely, I'll go ahead and drop a link to that as well, because on that page, you can schedule a discovery call with me, whether you want a VIP day or whether you want me to do it for you.
And I'll just co-sign on everything that you're saying in two spectrums, okay? Sometimes with a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurs that come to me, I give them the skirt because they don't have this done ahead of time. And what we don't want to do as a marketing company or for PR is get you all this traffic to your site or get all these eyes on you when you go on TV or get on the radio or whatever, and you're not set up for the success. Like, we want you to be, we want you to be tailored for success. So SEO is definitely something that you have to get used to. And I feel like, and I've been preaching this for years, that every small business, entrepreneur, startup has to have a blog. Like, you should be the authority or the expert in whatever it is that you're selling, your service, your product, whatever. So I see Olga on here. She has a meditation and a mental health wellness app. So
perfect blog content.
Like now, talking about, what we can do to stay sane.
Yes, I just had like 10,000 ideas that just came to me like right here.
Exactly. Then we have Rashida. She just did an amazing financial wellness workshop that I took last weekend. So
I love Rashida.
Yeah, you need to be the expert in that and telling people, how to save and how to do all these things. So everybody needs to have a blog, but we don't want you, again, work smarter, not harder. We don't want you writing a blog post and nobody sees it.
Yeah. So about that as well, Olga says she has a lot of questions. Yes, I'm going to answer Olga. But about that, and really think your blog is part of your content marketing strategy. Your blog is going to do that online marketing for you that you don't have to do ad spend for in order to try to get more people, to your website and things like that. I had another comment and I just went blank because I was reading the questions in there. Someone asked, when is the free training? So the free training is, it's not live, it's pre-recorded, so you can sign up and you can watch it at any time. You would just go to that link I put up earlier, bloggerstartupschool.com/free training, and I'll drop the link again.
Yeah.
So are we taking questions? What are we doing?
So there was a question, I think you answered it several with the, we can't answer all of your questions, Olga, but if you want to, because we are a little pressed for time, but if you did have one, like your most important one that you wanted to ask Charlene, please.
Yeah, and I'll drop the link also to my discovery call, and that way if people want to get on a call with me and just talk more about their SEO strategy, you can definitely do that as well. You can ask me all the questions.
No, what I'm saying is just like it's super important topic, super amazing. Right now I'm kind of like in this bottleneck, but we have a lot of content, but we don't really know how to reach this big audience, and we've been struggling with strategy. So Leah, thank you so much for covering this topic. So I already actually signed up for this free training, and maybe schedule the call with you, something like I looked at your website really quickly and saw that you have a call session or something. So yeah.
Yes, and definitely. And I'm just dropping the SEO discovery call link too, for anyone just want to set up a call to chat more with me about their SEO strategy. Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And it's so much, you guys, SEO is so robust. Like, I could just keep going. I'm sure it's a lot of stuff that I haven't mentioned, but I'm trying to cover like the high level things so you guys have a nice understanding of everything you need to do. If I would leave you guys with one thing, it's really focus on creating content that your audience wants and what they're searching for. because I want you guys to work smarter and not harder, and really focus on optimizing your website so that it does show up in search results, because no one wants to spend time, you know, and money doing things that are not going to drive more traffic to their website. That's the whole point.
And now more than ever,
Hi.
everybody going virtual. You have to, you don't have a choice. Like, you have to work on this to stand above everybody now moving online.
Hello. I'd like to say something. So I built my name is Carol. Thank you, Leah, for doing this. This is amazing. You probably can tell by my comments that I've been freaking out over here because this is so on point. It's like, I mean, today, literally, I was saying, I need someone to do my SEO. And then I looked on LinkedIn, and there you are saying, we're going to have an SEO. So at 4 o'clock, when I saw this, I went to Zoom and tried to register to get online, but I was taking the trash out. So that's why I was late. But this is phenomenal, because everything that you said, now granted, you made it sound easy. You are very technical, both of you, because I've done everything that you said to do, but I didn't do it right. Okay. I built my website and nobody came, and nobody's still there. And so, but I know what you're telling me is correct. I just haven't figured out how. And it's kind of embarrassing because I'm an engineer. And it's more so I just don't have the time because I'm not a website developer. And so for me, the thing that's really appealing is I would like to go through the whole session where you teach me how, like, because I think I could pick it up, you know, that wouldn't be a problem. Mm-hmm. But realistically speaking, timing wise and cost wise, I can't do it right now. But I'm online now, filling out your form to talk to you about the Done For You service, because there's some targeted pages, because I want to see if there's a service that you have that will do just targeted pages, because that would be enough to get me started so I could come back to you and say, hey, take it over. Because I really want to just drop this off. And I feel like, to me, from hearing you it doesn't even matter what industry we're in, because I was thinking you were going to be more service industry, like more like beauty shop and things like that, but the tips that you gave would apply to any industry.
Yes, and definitely.
So yeah, this is amazing.
I'm so excited for you. And just really quick question, what type of business do you have?
So I'm an electrical engineer by trade, and my business is engineering services and management consulting.
Nice.
But kind of what I've been doing, sort of like you all, when you figure out, like you might have started doing blogging and then you figured out, hey, I can help other people. I did the same thing with business development. So like I write proposals for other companies to go after federal contracts. I'm in the process now of going after a multi-million-dollar contract, and I'm waiting to hear about the award. But we go after federal contracts in the government sector. So like military. I worked at Lockheed and Raytheon and Boeing and places like, well, not Boeing, Northrop, Raytheon, Lockheed and Hamilton Sunstrand. And so that type of engineer, building missiles and things like that. And so that's what my service is. And so my people are going to be more techie, but still I think that all these things would apply. It's just a matter of, you know, taking the tips and then just applying it to my industry.
Yeah, definitely. And the one thing I didn't mention for any business owner that's still listening as well, I forgot to mention reviews. Encourage your customers to leave Google reviews, to leave Yelp reviews. Make sure you claim your business on your Google My Business profile, because reviews help a lot for your SEO as well. But I'm really excited. I can't wait to talk to you, Carol. And yeah, this is great. I'm so glad it didn't go over people's head and it's relatable and people can understand it, because, you know, SEO can get very, very technical.
All right. Yes. Time for one last question. Anybody? No one? What?
I think someone had a question. Let's see. Someone asked about SEO for a mobile app.
Did she get Rupa? Rupa, take yourself off of mute. If she's still there. She is still there. Rupa, let me unmute. Oh.
And I don't know much about mobile apps, but I do know that there are such things called progressive web apps, WPAs, which are basically web applications, but they appear like an app. But I don't know enough information. I haven't done enough research to really give you a great answer for that. But I will put that on my to-do list.
And I think Rupa signed up for your free training.
Oh, great.
For the free training. And so, Rupa, I would also just suggest that maybe you set that discovery call and you can tell her a little bit more about, she developed an app.
Okay.
And I believe you were one of our pitch competition winners. I think you, I forgot what place she came in at UTD, but she was one of our pitch competition winners, and she has a really great app. And so I know she probably has some questions as to SEO.
Well, for apps themselves, like anything that you're doing to solve a pain point, you just want to make sure that your main website for that app is optimized for SEO. Maybe it's not the actual app itself when people download it, but everything you're doing on your main website, if to get people to know that you have a answer to their problem.
Do you know anybody, or you recommend anybody who does the SEO marketing or so?
In terms of, what do you mean exactly?
Like, I'm not that all tech savvy and all that SEO marketing. So I was looking if there's somebody who does that SEO marketing, so I can just contract that.
Well, you can definitely set a discovery call to see how we can work together depending on the goals and things that you need for your website, because SEO, it involves a lot of different strategies. So it just depends on, the goals and the things that you're looking for.
Okay. I'm already signed up for that free training, right? Oh, no, discovery call link.
Yeah, so the free training is just talking more about how I got my particular blog post to page 1 of Google, but the discovery call, we can chat more about exactly what your goals are and what the needs you're looking for in terms of SEO for your particular business.
Okay. Is that like something like you charge, or how does that work?
The discovery call is complimentary, but then based on whatever you need going forward, what you want to contract for, then we'll talk about the pricing for that. But the call itself is free.
Perfect.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, sure.
That's nice.
Yeah, so your first step is to set that call so that she actually
you got that.
I'm all about steps. And so thank you, Rupa, so much. And let me know, I know she'll have you very well taken care of.
This was amazing. I'm so glad people have questions.
Thank you. And
thank you.
Take the training. Set the call. And if I know we packed a lot into this, so if you guys go to YouTube and just search for Leah Frazier, you can subscribe to my channel and the recap will be there, or I'll circulate it through the Inspire and Intel podcast, and you can just listen there, because I'm the type of person where I may have to start and stop and take notes, because I know we went through quite a bit, but it's such just valuable information. I just thank you for making time for us today.
You're so welcome. I thank you for reaching out to me. It's funny, I saw you doing the series and I saw Rashida on, and then I was like, oh, I want to be on that show. I need to reach out to her, but I never did because I got busy with other things, and then you reached out to me. I was like, look at God. Okay, let's do this.
Because it's so important. And one of the things that we've talked about so much throughout this whole entire time, throughout quarantine and throughout the series, is just keeping everything in perspective. It's a one day at a time thing. It's not gonna turn over overnight. So don't get upset and pissed off when you start doing all this work and you start really paying attention to your keywords and your links and all that, and you're not seeing what you want to see immediately. This is not a microwave strategy. This is long term.
Yes, it is. And this is the perfect time if your business has some downtime to really focus on your website, because like I said, if you start these strategies now, you're going to look up by Christmas, by Thanksgiving, 6-8 months down the line, you know, by the top of 2020, and you're going to be having that search traffic rolling in. So really take advantage of this time right now.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
And thank all of you guys. Yeah, and make sure you sign up for the free training and stay in touch. Y'all cannot believe some of the speakers I have. Like, Charlene was great. Everybody was great. Rashida was great. But like, I have some like major people, like even more major coming, and I'm so excited. So
yeah, so I'll be following along.
And thank you guys, and have a good night.
All right, good night, guys.
Bye, guys.